Hello and welcome back to another AccessAdvisr video. This time it's the second time we're back in London for a football match, second consecutive game, and this time we're back at Craven Cottage, home of Fulham FC. When we got to the ground, we had a good smooth trip up despite the delays for the roadworks on the M3, but when we arrived at the ground we didn't have many problems with parking. We were actually dropped off quite near to the ground, which was good. And although we had to go to a bit further away to get the transport after the game, it still wasn't too difficult, the roads were clear. Anyway, we'll come back to that later. So we arrived at Fulham and we had a little bit of a wait once we're there outside the ground for the gates to open. And you can see here's one of the away team's buses arriving, or both of them. Though quite why they need two coaches these days is anybody's guess. Okay, so we were sat outside for a little while because we did get there fairly early, and then the gates opened and it was time to go into Craven Cottage. We had our tickets checked and off we go. And as you go into the ground, there's a little bit of a slope up to the stadium, and we went all the way along the back, and then we stopped to get a coffee there. And then we realised we were in the wrong place, so we had to come back and go through the underpass to get to our seats. And this is where things changed a bit at Fulham now. They've got a lift to get down to the lower tier of the 3 platforms that they've got. And so it's only down 1 floor, but it gets you down to the viewing platform. Disabled away fans also had a seat service menu where someone would come and take your order and bring it to you at half time. And there are 3 viewing levels for wheelchair users at Fulham, which on the face of it looks pretty good. But I did get a feeling that maybe things wouldn't be so good on the lower tier once the game started. And I think that's backed up from this photo kindly given to us by Helen Jenkins, which shows that when the game started, people were stood up and you couldn't see a thing if you're on the lower tier. So I had an inkling that this might happen. So what I did was look and see if there are any free spaces on the other 2 tiers, and there was. So I went back in the lift and got back up to the middle tier, and the view was a bit better. But the feedback I've seen from other wheelchair users and some ambulant disabled fans was that, it wasn't very good in certain positions, and seats that were supposed to be reserved for people who couldn't stand up weren't actually reserved for those people. And so it's a bit of shame that Fulham have built this grand new stand, they've built this new area for disabled people with a lift, and they still can't get it right. The viewing platforms are still not good enough. So after the game, and the less said about that the better, it was back to our accessible transport ready for the journey home. I hope you've enjoyed this video, that you'll like, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until the next time, bye for now.